This man has been in the trenches since day one. When you talk about ride or die and someone that never misses, then this man is the definition of it. This man is top 10. Hell, even top 5 in my opinion. The mother freaking GOAT. What's good, everybody? This your boy, the Black Akashi, and I'm here to give my take on the top strongest characters in One Piece. Now, I've been seeing people do this lately, so I figured, why not? I just want to give a heads up that this is based on current strength, because if we were just going off of current strength or in their prime, then we already know who's going to be in the top 10, let alone the top 5. So I've rearranged this list multiple times. So this list will probably rub some people the wrong way, but it is what it is. So without further ado, let's get to the top 30. Now, trying to decide who belongs at the bottom is always a hard thing to do, especially when it comes to One Piece characters, when there's so many great characters that Oda has introduced us to, but it had to be done. For number 30, it's the Buddha God himself, Sengoku. Now, I know what you're thinking. The former fleet admiral and the man second to Garp in terms of strength, and the man who was in them trenches with Garp during the Gold D. Roger era is at the very bottom of this list. The man who held Shiki back alongside Garp when he pulled up on Impel Down. I know, it's shocking, but Sengoku is basically Garp right now, throwing shots at everybody and having a good time riding on this goat. Despite his old age and current state in the story, he still has a very powerful Devil Fruit, which allowed him to pull off some impressive feats, like fighting Blackbeard after he acquired Whitebeard's Devil Fruit during Marineford, and even holding Garp back after Akainu had killed Ace. I wonder if Sengoku was at the battle on God Valley, or at least fought one of the current Yonkos back when they were on Rox's ship, since he knows so much about the incident. Number 29 is the legend himself, the hero of the Marines and the face as well, Monkey D. Garp, the man that could have been the fleet admiral but refused it because he's a real nigga. The only person that could talk down on the Celestial Dragons and get away with it. And the father of the Revolutionary Army's leader, Monkey D. Dragon. Like I mentioned, Garp is stronger than Sengoku. I mean, who needs a Devil Fruit when you got Haki? I still believe that Garp is the strongest Marine currently, and not because Oda said he was the strongest Marine in Marineford, or that Garp was going to kill Akainu if Sengoku wasn't holding him back. Garp in his prime was like Jordan three-peating for the second time. Like, he was dropping Hall of Fame stats back then. He dropped Marco Phoenix in Marineford, fought Gold D. Roger, Whitebeard, Shiki, Rox, Big Mom, and as I mentioned earlier, Marco. He fought the Rox pirates alongside Gold D. Roger on God Valley. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like, I would compare the great pirate era to the 80s and 90s basketball. So many OGs that shaped the game into what it was today. Well, what it is today. If this was a bias list, Garp would be in my top 10, no debate. Number 28 is Crocodile. The former warlord and leader of the Baruch Works. Crocodile is someone to me and most people that would be described as someone being shown too early in the story. Even Oda has said this. He's really questionable when it comes to how strong he is, because one minute he's fighting Whitebeard, 3 admirals, and other warlords, showing that he has the premises of Haki. Then another minute he's getting beat up by Luffy because he put some water on his body. Not to mention the big secret that Ivankov knows about him. Like, that's really the only reason why Crocodile is at the bottom of the list. Excluding that, he has an incredible Devil Fruit, which is basically sand. He can turn his whole body into sand and can create and manipulate it as well. He also can absorb things, and he also can absorb anything he touches, making it extremely dry. Crocodile is one of the characters that I really miss the most out of the story, because there's still that mystery to the character and there's so much more you want to learn about him. Overall, Crocodile is a legend that arrived too early, and due to that, he's unfortunately at the bottom of the list. Number 27, it is the man who died and came back. The legend himself, Sabo. I mean, he's second in command to Dragon, so obviously he's strong enough to earn that title. Not to mention that he's Luffy's older brother and inherited Ace's Devil Fruit in Dressrosa. Sabo has been stated to be more powerful than Ace, but I believe that Ace is slightly more stronger, and I'll get to that later on. I'll admit that Sabo has done some pretty dope stuff with the Mirror Mirror no Mi, but it's not Ace. But he's not Ace, so that's why he's at number 7. Now, number 26 is Ace. Now, I just want to point out that Ace had the most potential out of everybody in One Piece. Besides being the son of the Pirate King, Ace had some pretty amazing feats. When he went to Drum Kingdom for one day, it stopped snowing. During his fight with Whitebeard, he created an island-sized attack that had even Whitebeard shook. He visited Wano and was getting ready to pull up on Kaido. He had all the Haki abilities. And not to mention he had a broken Devil Fruit. And also, he was offered a spot in the Warlords, but he declined. Like, Ace was already a problem and he didn't even awaken his Devil Fruit yet. He easily could have been the Pirate King if he wanted to because of his legacy. But because of how much potential he had, I originally had Ace at number 15 instead of 26, but I had to move him down a few slots. Ace is another character that was wasted potential and will forever be missed. Now for my number 25, I was holding off on who to put there because I wanted to read the current chapter of One Piece, and depending on when this video drops, chapter 1039 is, I wanted to finish reading that chapter before I put him at this spot. But after reading it, I've still decided to keep him at this spot. So my number 25 is Trafalgar D. Law, former warlord, one of the members of the Worst Generation, and a former member of the Doflamingo's family. I can't say that nigga last name. Don Quo, that family. And possibly a future Yonko in a time skip or two. AKA the Surgeon of Death. Law is probably one of the dopest characters with one of the dopest and possibly most OP Devil Fruits in One Piece. And the fact that he's a medic makes his versatility with it even more dangerous. The fact that the name of his Devil Fruit is OP shows how nasty he is. He can teleport or switch places with anyone or anything, similar to Sasuke's Rinnegan ability. Cut people's limbs off and switch them around. Transfer people's souls. Steal your hearts. Like, he can do all this and he still hasn't awakened his Devil Fruit yet. I'll never forget when we saw Law and Punk Hazard and he fought Tashigi and dropped one of the coldest bars in anime. The weak don't get to choose how they die. When he said that, I was so hyped and intrigued with what else he'll bring to the story, and he hasn't disappointed so far. His tragic backstory and all the things he went through made you love the character even more. With the way things are looking in Wano, he's definitely about to shake things up in the story. At number 24, I have everyone's favorite chef, the blunt smoking beast himself, Sanji. Sanji is just one of those characters I love to make jokes about, but secretly I love him because of how dope he is. And not just because he's an honorary member of the Power Rangers, aka German 66. Sanji was one of the first people to ever dodge one of Katakuri's attacks, showing that he had observation haki and could see into the future. Oda just be giving Sanji major flexes and just goes on like it was nothing. Like, Sanji took a Nail's lightning attack just to light his cigarette. His infamous simp lines that he always be dropping. He dodged Katakuri's attacks, fought Virgo, pulled up on Doflamingo, not to mention his fights in Wano. Like, Sanji deserves the praise he gets. But most of y'all niggas be gassing him up too much, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Number 23. Now, this next person is a GOAT that deserves all the praise and acknowledgement. This man has been in the trenches since day one. When you talk about ride or die and someone that never misses, then this man is the definition of it. This man is top 10. Hell, even top 5 in my opinion. The mother freaking GOAT, Zoro. Zoro is hands down my favorite character in One Piece besides Shanks, and he rightfully earned it. Now, the reason I have Zoro and Sanji next to each other is not because they are equals. They are strong in their own ways, but I do believe that Zoro is stronger than him. Zoro has shown that he's the right-hand man of the future Pirate King, surviving his battle with Mihawk, defeating Dash Bones and being able to cut steel, let alone cutting nothing. Taking Luffy's pain, training with Mihawk, cutting down Pika. The top tier feast this man has been pulling off in Wano has been crazy. This might be a hot take, but I think Zoro with sleep is like Batman with prep time. Dude is freaking ridiculous when he gets his sleep. And here's another hot take. I think Zoro didn't lose his eye, but he's just keeping it closed due to how powerful he'd be. Kind of like Kenpachi with his eye patch. And to the anime only watchers that are Zoro fans, just know that our boy is about to go even more crazy in the next episodes. Also, I just want to say that Zoro is not racist. Just because all of his opponents are black doesn't mean that he's racist. Like, come on now. Y'all tripping, bro. The jokes is funny, but come on now. My nigga not racist. Frieza racist. Okay. Number 22 is the Dark King himself, Silvers Rayleigh, the right-hand man of Gold D. Roger and an ally of the Straw Hats. Rayleigh is one of the dopest old men in anime. At an old age, he was able to hold Kizaru back from destroying Zoro and the rest of the Straw Hats. Not to mention, he trained Luffy to create Gear 4 and all of the other forms that came with it. He mastered all 3 versions of Haki. During the battle between the Whitebeard Pirates and the Roger Pirates, he went 3 days and 3 nights without receiving any major damage, and was able to stop a young Marco Phoenix with just one finger. Like, come on. Rayleigh is just built different from the rest. I would really love to see what else he has done in his prime, along with the rest of the legends from the Great Pirate era. Number 21 is the Warden of Impel Down himself, Magellan. I had to put my boy on the list because he is heavily underrated. In my honest opinion, he has the most dangerous devil fruit in One Piece. So in terms of strength, I have him at the bottom, but in terms of devil fruits, he's all the way up there. With his Venom no Mi, which can literally one-shot anyone that crosses his path, and the fact that he's awakened as well as a whole nother level of dangerous to his resume. He can literally do anything with his devil fruit. Create barriers so you can't escape. Turn his body into a poison armor so you can't touch him. Create his own Susanoo with Hydra and his demon form. Not to mention his Kenjiti ability, which has been stated to be capable of destroying Impel Down. I mean, Shiki did it too, but anyway. So, unless you're immune to poison or have Reiju to suck you off anytime necessary, you're screwed. Like, real talk, Magellan is that dude. If I could compare him to one character, it would probably be Okuyasu from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Both of them have a ridiculously overpowered ability that if put into the hands of a more logical and smart person, then they would be the biggest threat in their universes. But the writers had to nerf him down by being silly and goofy. I really wanted to put him at a higher spot on the list because of how dangerous he is. But I'm going to keep him where he is due to the fact that we haven't seen him in the story lately. But I do hope he returns. Now, this one hurt the most because I didn't know where to put him at. I didn't know where to put him at besides the top 10 or 15. But number 20 is Marco D. Phoenix. That's right, D. Phoenix. Not T-H-E, capital D. Phoenix. The first commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. One of the greatest right-hand men besides Rayleigh, Ben Beckman, Katakuri, and Zoro. Marco is a beast. Besides having one of the most beautiful devil fruits and is a healing specialist with a very high durability level, the dude can hold his own. He fought all 3 admirals in Marineford, fought Blackbeard during the Payback War, held off King, Queen, and Big Mom without hardly breaking a sweat in Wano. Like, this is why Marco is one of my top 10 favorite characters in One Piece. My boy is a serious problem when necessary. Now, my number 19 could have went either way because these two characters are very special. But my number 19 is the GOAT, Doflamingo. Doflamingo is, in my honest opinion, one of the best villains in One Piece and one of the best villains in anime. Doflamingo just drips every time he walks. He drips every time he talks. He drips with everything that he does. Like, Doflamingo is a true menace. He had Dressrosa under his control. Like, he always stood out from everyone ever since his first introduction into the story. Doflamingo is extremely OP in my opinion. He has Conqueror's Haki, Armorman Haki. His Devil Fruit is extremely versatile and very dangerous. Like, he easily could have killed every single person in Dressrosa with his birdcage ability. Like, that is truly dangerous and truly OP. Like, Doflamingo, he had Dressrosa and the whole world government in a chokehold during the whole series, bruh. Like, just him being a warlord just gave, like, being a warlord truly gives you immunity to do whatever you want, bruh. And the only reason why the government even acts upon it is because Luffy is the one that be beating them up. Like, every single warlord that had something evil going on, Luffy is responsible for every single one of them. That's kind of like one of the reasons why the world government demolished the warlord system, because Luffy kept fucking them up, and all of the dirty shit that they've been doing behind the scenes under the world government's eyes was kept being brought to light. So they had nothing, they couldn't do anything else but abolish whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the warlord system. So yeah, thank you, Luffy. Doflamingo, man, he's just an all around villain, bro. He's just that guy. He's that guy, man. Just him being a former celestial dragon gives him a lot of pull. Like, if he was still a celestial dragon, and he was doing all this stuff that he did in the story, man, the world government wouldn't even do anything about it because he's a celestial dragon. They're close to the gods, and it would be, and technically, if you want to be technical about it, Luffy beat up 2 celestial dragons and got away with it. I hope he shows up in the story again, man, because that dude is a problem. He is a beast. I know he's an impale down at the very bottom of the depths. Like, even he got Magellan. They got Magellan protecting him because they got assassins on his head because of the secrets that he knows from way back in the day. So yeah, Doflamingo is a real problem for both sides in the story of One Piece, the world government and the pirates. Like, he's a problem for everybody. That's why them niggas sending assassins, because they know he a problem. Now, my number 18 goes to the Donut Lord himself, Katakuri. The man that stole the show in Whole Cake Island and created a fan base that's up there with Zoro, Sanji, and other popular characters in the story. Now, the reason I have Katakuri and Doflamingo next to each other is because I see them as equals in terms of strength and versatility. Now, I know I'm not the only one that has compared the two, because it's been heavily discussed and debated in the One Piece community about who's stronger and who's better, etc., etc. Hell, it's even in BD Law's intro if you think I'm crazy. Katakuri is basically a better and more versatile version of Luffy. His Moki Moki ability is just like Luffy's Gomu Gomu. His observation haki allows him to see into the future, and he also has Conqueror's Haki. Katakuri has shown plenty of times why he's Big Mom's second in command. Not to mention that he has given us one of the best, and according to some people, most overrated fights in One Piece. Luffy versus Katakuri is more than just another beat each other up just to see who's the strongest type of fight. It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm sorry. I had to throw that in real quick. Katakuri has never been defeated except for Luffy, and no one has ever seen his back. So that's a pretty nice feat in my opinion. And as much as people would love for Katakuri to leave Big Mom and join the Straw Hats, I don't really see that happening due to the similarities they have and the fact that the only way to leave Big Mom's crew is through death. So I see these two as being more frenemies than crewmates. Hopefully we see the Donut Lord again.
Would you stop with the Donut Lord?
So that we can see how much stronger he's gotten.